Bum, 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 bum. Welcome back, my friend. This is BjjBrick Quick. This is your quick jiu-jitsu podcast with a crappy intro song. We're talking about jiu-jitsu today, of course. Having a good side and a bad side. I'm not talking about pictures. Which side's your good side? Talking about your jiu-jitsu. Here's something you might have realized. Maybe you haven't. I cannot tell you even an idea why this is. The vast majority of guard passes are to the guard player's right side. So that would be the top person's, they pass to their left. The vast majority. Why is this? It is crazy that this is the case. I was talking with somebody about this a while ago, and they were like, why? And they kept trying to drill down, and we kept talking about it and kept trying to figure out what would cause this. You know, people are right-handed, but a lot of the passing to your left is done with your left hand. Is it the underhook fight that is often common? A lot of passes don't need underhooks. They're just, it's just an interesting thing about jiu-jitsu and people that we pass to our left. So how does this affect you? Let's just say you play mostly guard. Well, mostly you've defended guard passes to your right, which is normal. But I have found it is much easier to pass guard to the right, especially of a pretty tricky guard player, because they're not used to defending that side. I said yesterday that if I were to play De La Riva guard on my dumb side, it would be a disaster. I don't play much De La Riva guard anyway, but it would be pretty much a joke. I would look like a white belt that had just learned De La Riva guard 20 minutes ago. Like, it would not be effective jiu-jitsu. So, people aren't training to defend the guard passes the less passed way. Sometimes I would get, like in a pretty good roll, and I'm trying to pass the guard. And this is a few years ago, because I kind of developed a different technique for this. And then I would just think, I'm going to pass the other direction. And what took me a solid 3 minutes of almost being there, not quite getting there, them recovering, trying to start the pass, like a tough fight. You go the other way and the pass was easy. I noticed this, and it was like kind of interesting to me, because my guard passes to that way were not as effective. I felt clumsy and uncoordinated. I also don't like to pass that way. Nobody does. It's also kind of hard to get somebody to engage with you that way. If you look at somebody who's wanting to play guard, they'll kind of, if they pull guard, they're sitting in front of you, they'll kind of lay to their right side. Like, you have to pass that way. It takes a decent amount of work to get them squared back up and to get them onto their dumb side. I'll talk about guard passing in a couple of days. It looks like, yeah. But and I love passing to half guard on the right, to my right as a top player, because half guard players aren't used to playing that, and it just throws it all out of order. Think about your own jiu-jitsu. Do you pass mostly to your left? Do you defend most of the people who are trying to pass the guard as they're passing to their left? If you probably should have a good pass or two that goes to the right. You'd surprise yourself. I'll talk about that in a couple days, like I've mentioned, and maybe give you some guidance on picking a pass. That would be good to add on to the right. But it's a gold mine out there. No one's found that one as easily. People avoid it. And look at the guard passers that do switch back and forth, right, left, right, left, right, left. It's exhausting. But I'd venture to say majority of the actual finishing passes of the person who switches constantly are to the right. It's a weaker guard over there. Attack the weak spots. Sun Tzu, the art of war. Stuff going on here. All right, guys. Let's wrap this thing up. If you are new to Jiu-Jitsu, check out the audiobook, Your First Year of BJJ. Go to BjjBrick.com, click on the shop. It'll pop right up. Money goes and supports the show. Hope you have a great day, my friend, and stay sweaty.